capture device, add. Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Thirty-five by 30. Okay. Sure. Oh wait, no, fuck! Okay. Copy. Paste. Excellent. Hello. Shit. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on, Quentin? It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad to have you for this next upcoming campaign. I do, yeah. Edit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I saw something. Let me go pee real quick. I'll be right back. All right. It should be in the in general. You might have to search by. Yeah, it's just one word. Forlorn King. F capitalized. K capitalized. Can you hear me? Okay, good. I also just loaded all the modules, so we may lag a little bit as I'm downloading that shit. Oh. I also just loaded all the modules, by the way, Nate, so we might lag a minute while I download that shit from you. Yeah. Um, um, when I go live, the title I just use Twitch as like a repository, so I just transform the live session into a recording. Yeah, I can rename the VOD. Yeah, it would probably be easier if I had it in advance, but because it's going to be harder for me to remember. I just know like what to assign what name to which episode. Yeah.
Like, um, this sort of it's kind of like you're in space, but like when you're in each of the realms of each of the like um they're it's going to be like visiting a new world. Um so, that's kind of where we're at there. Um and once we get through sort of the introduction setup, um you guys are going to be like a crew that will be going through. um And there will be some choices that you'll make that will sort of dictate, that will be consequential, that will sort of dictate um, generally which direction you go. And that'll be kind of in the intro, um, sort of like mini module. I'm not going to say it's like the first session. It's going to be like, the first few sessions of like once like the sort of preamble to the campaign, um, when you guys sort of come together as a crew and take off for the Thaumic Expanse, then some of the decisions you make there will decide uh, basically whether or not um, you'll be sort of exploring the mystery behind um, one or the other of the remnant races. So there's the remnants of, um, the I think dragons, essentially, and then there's like the remnants of the giants.
Quick question.
Yeah,
Currently, when I try to do the character creator, it says I only have the 5e SRD assets and not the player handbook or any of those assets.
So, so that's going to be
Do-do.
something you have to, you click on library to make sure that little pop down goes down, and then you click modules. And in that, there's going to be something called in the bottom left called activation. You click that, and then you just load all of the stuff in there. You click load on all of that. That's what I was doing before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
And then you'll be able to use
But
it to find spells and to find character classes and all of that.
okay, because I was like, man, this is all right. Perfect.
And we're all loading from Nate because Nate bought all of the stuff. So Nate, just to clarify on the conceit of this whole thing, um, we are going to be finding through gameplay or whatever some reason for us to come together as a crew to explore the Thaumic Expanse.
Yeah. So part of your character background. So we're going to be starting in sort of the it's not the capital, but it's the first settlement of the human realm. So it was the first sort of settlement from like one of the first humans that came through the portal between worlds into the what has now become the human realm. So she's the founder of this city. Her name was Jen Delaney, and she found herself in the wilderness, walked for miles and miles, days, searching for people. Didn't find anybody. Found a spot that had some ruins um, that also had sort of naturally formed baths, which was the thing while she was surviving in the wilderness that she wanted the most. And so she stopped there and she called the town Folktha, which is bath. And she that then became one of the first settlements that humans, as they sort of began migrating to this place from their home world. Uh, um, this was like one of the first major settlements, but it's not the capital anymore. Um, but so everybody's gonna be starting in that town. You can be from any background, you can be from any race, but you're gonna be starting in that town. Whatever race you choose, think of a reason. Like it is a multicultural city. There's a lot of people of the different races that have chosen to live there for whatever reason. There is a consulate there for um, each of the races, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the halflings. Uh, and think of like a sort of fantasy city that's maybe like late 19th century. um you know they like there are firearms. They're going to work basically the same way that crossbows do, so I'm not going to like re-rule, like make them more powerful or anything. They're just going to work like crossbows. um so think about that. um Picture the town, and I've got a map, but it's not loaded in yet, so I can't really share that yet. I've got to do some finishing touches on it. But think of like kind of a mountain town with like really like beautiful like like maples of different colors and pines, and it's known for its like baths, like hot springs, um, baths. But there's a lot of other. It's a pretty big city now, so um, so think about why you live there. Um, and then the one thing I want you to think about in your background is what reason would your character have to find themselves in jail?
Oh,
Oh.
it's gonna
Also, just not because Lou and I are thinking about an idea or anything, but like, how does I saw, you know, there was like a half elf thing on the you know, some of them can see past lives and stuff, but like, as far as like halvesies on other races, is that a thing?
Yeah, so halflings are essentially half dwarf, half gnomes.
Okay.
Um, so, but they're kind of their own thing now. Like it's like anciently they sort of, you know, started there, but now they've just like it's not like they're only like that doesn't happen anymore. So halflings are just their own thing. In terms of like other half breeds, like yeah, I think anything can be like a half breed with the humans. Um, which is why like some prejudiced some prejudiced NPCs you might meet like might be distrustful of humans just because like they might, you know, buy into some rhetoric that like that means like everybody at some point will just become humans. Through like that's sort of like the thing with the human race is that like a lot of the other D&D races that aren't human but kind of humanoid are like just different versions of humans. Just because like humans come from a world that has no magic, and being exposed to the magic of this world um, has sort of changed them in fundamental ways.
Isaiah,
It's
we're echoing through your
No.
thing.
I have to put my headset on.
so
Sorry.
you know if you want to play as an Azamar, you want to play as a Genasi, a Tiefling, or a Warforged, they are technically their origin will be human, but you know at like humans have been around for a couple hundred years now. um and just as like a note, like one of the most famous humans is his name is Theo Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, and he is a werebear ranger who is basically Theodore Roosevelt. So like the world of humanity is like our world, but like humans have stopped in fairly recent memory, like within a couple decades, stopped being able to come over from the other side, because something happened to sort of interfere with that migration, and it has sort of been like the humans say that it was like a terrorist attack. They don't know who exactly did it, but they think it was an attack on them. Um, and but one of the weird quirks of like this migration thing is that like, you know, they sort of forget most of their life from before. Anybody who's like come through from the other side, and they also can come from any time period. So like,
Remember you saying this? Yeah, yeah.
so like you might have like, you know, a character from like 15th century Japan who, you know, came over 30 years ago with like a character from like, you know, the late 1800s or from, you know, 500 CE, you know, like a Roman soldier. But, you know, they're not going to like have like memory of like much of their past other than, you know, something like there's, you know, some things that come through. So anyways, hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions, let me know. But and typically that period of migration, when all the other like races have come over, that period of migration usually lasts for about 1,000 years, where like the you know the portal between worlds is thin, and something closed that off for the humans. So usually, you know, their population gets bolstered by these like sort of crossovers, and that hasn't happened because the humans have only been around for a few hundred years before that got cut off, and one of their cities was essentially vaporized. So there's a spot where it's that was a pretty traumatic event for humankind, and but because they're new and they don't have a lot of influence yet, they haven't really been able to get many answers or get much support. You know, sort of symbolic support from the gnomes and the elves and the dwarves, but so.
I also have a couple other questions. First of all, one of the huge things about playing a martial that I really wanted to try was the weapon masteries. I know you said that
Yeah.
you would be integrating that the new stuff later on, but can we start with weapon masteries?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can. I just don't have it in like I don't have the assets in the game, right? So
Oh, I can make macros and stuff. Like I can make all of that.
yeah, I mean, if you can do that, or you know, I'll work this week on trying to get whatever you like mechanically at least want for your characters. So if you guys choose like weapon masteries from the new thing and you want that, like tell me what it is.
They're simple stuff. Like one of them, I think, is Nick or something like that, and basically, it's a property on a weapon. Each weapon has one property, and you can become like a weapon master of that weapon. And one of them on like daggers is called Nick, and it lets you, if you use the like bonus attack feature that usually takes a bonus action, you can instead incorporate that into your main attack action, so you still have your bonus action. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
it's not like, and then there's Graze, which is with great swords, and I think glaive or something like that, where you, if you miss an attack, you
Can still do damage.
Yeah, you still do damage.
Okay. Yeah, I like all that stuff. I've read through that when it came out, and we were talking about it a while back. So I'm cool with it. You want to put it on your character sheet? That's great. If you need me to add it in some way to your character sheet, I can do that too. But I'm pretty sure like the system is flexible enough for you to add those features.
Yeah.
Dan, we're using Unity. We're using the new version of Fantasy Grounds Unity. So it's free. Don't pay for it. If you know they say that there's, just do the free version. My license covers everybody. I have the ultimate license.
Okay, cool.
So
There he is. Where did I put it?
Also, just theoretically, if, for example, Lou and my character were to be brothers or something, and he was a Dragonborn or I was a Dragonborn, and maybe our mom, like mated with was a Dragonborn that mated with a Dragonborn, and then my dad was a halfling. Could I be a kobold? I'm just throwing ideas out there.
could you be a kobold? Could you be a kobold if your mom mated with a halfling? I think that's cool. Yeah, why not?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, So you have a halfling dad and a dragonborn mom.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's what like we want to do. But, like,
Yeah.
It's on a siege. Right?
I know. I think I think that'd be all right. I think you could play as a kobold if you wanted to. And in terms of like your sort of heritage, you'd probably come from the Dragonborn. So you guys would probably have been raised in like a covert. Halflings are really nomadic. So I mean, if you want to have come from like the halfling, then they'd like you'd have kind of made a circuit around most of the civilized realms. They sort of do like a full circuit every 10 years.
the halflings do?
And so the halflings don't have their own home realm. So you can find halflings everywhere. And they, when they take one of the, can't remember what they're called, the Thamic gates to go to navigate to another realm. Like you can, depending on what kind of like gate key you have, determines how fast you go through that middle ground through the between realms, and think of it like a hyperspace corridor or something like that. And they go slow, so they'll spend days or weeks in there, whereas like a fast ship can get from like the human realm to like the elven realm within like a day or two of travel, 2 or 3 days usually. But like the halflings will take weeks. And they say it's to avoid incursion by like the main enemies.
So what should we be doing now?
So make your character, and if you have questions about that, if you have questions about the setting, so
Are
like I
all the
said,
files there? I was gonna earlier.
they should be. You should. You might have to load the assets. So if you go to like, is it library?
Yeah, library, then modules.
Go to activation, and then
Do
load
I-
in like the player stuff.
Do you have to create
Uh,
an account for Fantasy Grounds, or do I just use your password?
I think you should just be able to search for my
You
name.
could use you could use your old account to log in
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
ground, and then it'll let you search for the and you could put Nate's name on there. It should pop up.
So as far as like, oh, we're echoing again. As far as like character creation goes, is because I mentioned to Lou an idea. I'm not like married to it. I think it could be fun. But does anyone else have any ideas for like character connections or anything like that that they might want to do?
Not yet.
So like I said, just think about like connections you'd have within the city of Folktha, which is where we're going to be starting. Dan, I don't know when you came in, so I was describing. It's the first human settlement in the Thamic Expanse. It's not the capital, but it is has a very important place in human civilization. And it's like think about like a hot springs town. So it's got a lot of hot springs and natural baths. There are a lot of sort of resorts. So there are a lot of people
Is
from
my
like the
audio
elves
picking
and the
up?
gnomes
Yeah,
and the
okay,
dwarves,
that's good.
some orcs, even halflings for sure, and dragonborn that will come there just to sort of relax. It's kind of like a resort town. Um, but there's a school there. There's government buildings. It's sort of it's not like the capital of the human civilization, but it is like the sort of think like a more local provincial seat. So there's courthouses and temples and big markets. It is a city. And so think about why your character would be there. in like a human settlement, and then think about why your character would find themselves in jail. So not prison, but jail. So
As far as class composition, I want to play a martial. That means monk, rogue, barbarian, fighter. I don't really want to play a half spellcaster, so that would be pretty much it. I don't know what anyone else is
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, I'm done with spells this campaign, guys. Although, how cool would it be if we were all? I'm just saying that would be crazy. Big, I don't know. That'll
if you
be a
guys were
big
all
problem.
marshals,
Yeah, that would be a big problem. Okay? But it'll be cool.
so I'll say this. The right now in the world, the highest level spells that people can cast are 3rd level spells.
But if you do play a spellcaster, can you expect that to be the max, or we'll probably find some way of?
That will be part of the story, is sort of expanding that power.
Gotcha.
But also potentially keeping that secret. Like maybe there are people who can use power beyond that sort of limit, but they keep it secret. Or if they do sort of show off that power, those people disappear mysteriously.
So are you discouraging anyone from playing?
I am absolutely not, and I want to be clear about that. You should do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if you're going to use that power in public, there will have story implications there. It will not end the campaign. It would be something to explore, potentially, but there may be, a reason why people disappear
It's a
when
plot
they do that.
point, right?
It's a plot hook. Yep. So that by no means let that be a discouragement. I fully support somebody choosing a magic class, full caster, and there will be a part of that, which is and I will say too, within the Thaumic Expanse, that's sort of like the magical speed limit, if you will, for all of the races. But there is evidence within the archaeology of there were these two sort of super cultures of essentially the giants and the dragons. They did have some overlap, and their ruins are throughout the world, throughout the different realms of the different races, and it seems to be clear that they had access to higher levels of magic, which people who study that it's been the topic of study, is like how they did that, how they were able to sort of bypass these sort of magical limits of the world.
Can I be a druid?
Yeah.
What? What I'm talking
Sick.
about.
All right. Quinn's gonna be a druid.
What is a good race for druid? I saw this.
Whatever you want, man.
What is a
Let it-
Kalashtar?
I don't know, man.
You should be a
Kalashtar?
Furbolg. They're like chill cow people. Furbolg.
Alistar 5. Oh, it's from Eberron.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kalashtar are in this setting because I'm not using Eberron stuff, but
Okay.
let
Should
me
I
see
be
what.
I'm being an artillerist.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice. Like, is that a
It's the-
is that a artificer?
Yep.
Oh, that's what I am.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
nice.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I can change
No, no,
it.
no. You don't have to change
No,
it.
I'm actually, and I talked to Nate about my character idea, because I need Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, because I actually want to be a chronocaster, time wizard is what I was aiming for with a dip into artificer. So I'm not a full artificer.
Did
It's kind of a
someone say boom?
So
yeah, you get it.
I probably want something that has a high wisdom, right? Race that has a wisdom.
What do I need for this thing?
Those Quentin, the racial stat
DA.
stuff,
Okay.
you can distribute how you want. They changed that in
Walls
Josh's
tools.
guide. So you can attribute, I think, +2 to one and then +1 to another.
Oh, sweet. Because I think I want to be a dwarf.
Yeah.
Neat.
So the dwarves are you know, a little bit different than like normal D&D dwarves, and they're not that different, but so for every 7 male dwarves that are born, there's 1 female dwarf, and it's not like they're all born at the same time. It's just that's sort of their sort of ratio. And it was sort of something that of like a magical malady that sort of now has affected them. But because of that, they've organized their society into clans that perform various functions within society. So there's like the clan of the Oakenshield, which are sort of like lawmakers, like or law enforcement. And there's like the Greybeards, who are sort of the ones that you know, like help to make the laws. And you know, there's like the Strongback clan, which do a lot of the like major like construction and infrastructure work within dwarvish society. So you know, it's very prestigious for dwarves to be from a clan, especially one of the big 10 clans. There are 10 clans that are sort of like the major clans, and then there are a lot of minor clans of, you know, prominent dwarves that may have like made a lot of money trading, or you know, found some kind of niche in society that's unfulfilled. Maybe they're shipwrights, maybe they're whatever. They start recruiting other dwarves that have the same sort of skills, and you know, develop a sort of like breed standard within their clan. So because part of it is attracting females. So the clan of females are the most powerful clan within the dwarves, because there are fewer females than there are dwarves, and they negotiate contracts for you know, to have children. So it's not like they get married. They negotiate sort of contracts, and 2 dwarves can, you know, do that a couple times, but you know, then all the children are raised by the clan of females initially, and then when they get old enough, the males sort of try out for a clan. If they don't make it, then most of the sort of laborers of the dwarven society are clanless dwarves. But clanless dwarves can also be criminals, and you know, so you know, that's kind of how the dwarves work. So Quinn, when you're thinking about your background as a dwarf, just think about if you want to be from a major or minor clan, and then I can help you come up with which one you're from. I don't have them all, so we can make stuff up as we go. And that I want to be clear, I don't have all of this set in stone. So if you have ideas, please bring them. This is collaborative. This is not a rigid setting by any means. I just want to give the skeleton of a thing that's like, hey, this is like a world we can explore. So I have ideas for like each of the realms. You know, like they'll all kind of be like the gnomes all live in a realm that's mostly desert, and they live underground for the most part to stay cool. So the underground is kind of like the Underdark, where there's like a lot of like mushrooms and things like that. And then above are like oases and desert, mostly. and then the dwarves kind of live in mountainous, like they've got a lot of like mountains and whatnot, but they've also got plains. They grow food, and they're kind of think like Europe, Lord of the Rings, that kind of.
Is anybody else seeing on the thingy jiggy? Let me see.
I saw your roll.
I say
That was
Parn-
you accidentally.
Parnassus. Who's that? Is that
That's
that
Dan.
you?
That's me.
Mordecai Okay. Are me and him the only ones in here?
No.
No, there's.
I'm in
I
here.
see all 5. I see.
Oh,
I'm
there you go.
I'm making my character, but I don't know. I can't find the assets with the information. You know how you could go and select like the class and stuff? It's
Yes.
just not in there.
So Dan, you got to go
Only-
under library, go to modules, and then down at the bottom left of the modules tab, click activation, and then you have to load the player sources that you want to draw from.
Perfect.
Is there normal Yuan Ti here, or just pure blood?
What was that?
Is there a normal just Yuan Ti, or is it there's just pure blood available here?
I think it's just pure blood. Is that from the Volos guide?
Is this what the hell is this book? Modern Caden, Monsters of the Multiverse.
Oh, okay.
If not,
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean
look through Variant Human. It's fine.
Yeah, you want to be a Yuan Ti?
Yeah, just not pure blood.
Okay. Let me see what I got here.
Because this fits right. I guess I can make it work. Yeah, I can make it work. Dun, 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 dun.
So Nate, this might be a big ask for you, but like Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, which is the class I want to play, it's the one that Matt Mercer made. It's not in the library.
I might not own it. So let me. How much is it?
I don't know.
Under campaign, name. Do you have anything in here? Like, oh, you do. You have the story.
I should have some stuff under the story tab that's shared, and that's just some of the stuff I shared in the Discord. So there's the homebrew setting Discord, which has some of the stuff. So to the extent that there's more in the Discord than there is in the setting, but this is just some of the background on it. Some, I guess, additional things. So pretty much everybody has like a sort of a, like, it's just like a really ubiquitous technology, which is like crystals that connect to like the greater sort of relays. And it acts as like a sort of universal translation device. So there is like the common language, which most people learn and speak, but even if you speak in like your native tongue, it sort of translates. This device does, and almost everybody has them. It connects people. They work like sending stones if you need to do that. So, they've got a lot of other uses. And if you want to add uses, like let's say you want to, have it be able to like capture images or, potentially like, moving images, you can take it. It would be expensive, but you could take it into essentially like a gem cutter that can, either make you a new one that, is sort of attuned to you. It doesn't take an attunement slot, but it would be like attuned to you. And there are places where, it can't get signal just because it's not close enough, or something is interfering with its connection to one of the nearest thermic relay. But those are kind of useful devices. Everybody has those, but just because there's sort of universal translation doesn't mean that trying to speak to someone in their native tongue isn't useful. So if you do speak to somebody in their native tongue, it sounds better on the ear. And so they're much more likely to, pay attention to you or listen to you. So if you have, so we're not going to like deal with a lot of situations where, you won't be able to understand people who are talking. For the most part, there may be NPCs that, aren't, you may encounter like more exotic NPCs that might not be tapped in. But for the most part, you won't have that issue, but there will be like rewards if you have, not rewards, but benefits if you have happen to speak, the native language, that will give you potentially like advantage on like a persuasion or some other social check. It might give you just better social treatment among certain populations if you can speak the native language. So there's that. Trying to think of some other things.
The wizard. There we go. I was over here trying to see what freaking how to create a character. Okay.
So Nate, the subclass of barbarian that I'm looking at is actually the new one. It's the Path
Yeah.
of the Wild Heart. I can add in. There's not really any huge changes
Yeah.
for like the first few levels, and then I don't know if I want to do that one actually. It has beast speak and speak with animals, and I don't know if I want to do that shit again. Oh no, that's something different. Okay.
So I
So,
found
yeah.
my race. What's the easiest way to get it over onto my character sheet?
I think you could just drag it, right?
Yeah, you should be able to just drag it. When you click it, you should see like a thing that says drag record link, and then I wonder if like that will let you just drag onto your character sheet.
Like it has an icon, but it's like I can't drag it. Oh, yes. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing.
You said that humans were not very liked.
So I mean, like they are liked. Some, like I obviously like among all the races, like and humans aren't immune to this. Like, like there's some people who are just more distrustful, more racist.
Yes.
So there are people who, there's rhetoric among certain, dwarves or elves or gnomes that think like, because of like sort of how adaptable humans have shown themselves to be, like and especially like how like how much like magic influences them. It's like, there are people that sort of adapted on a world without any magic, and none of the other, you know races like came from worlds that didn't have any magic at all. So they are um a little bit, and that's why like like humans that when they passed through the gate between worlds, um that were exposed to like certain elemental energies may have like found themselves to be genasi, or you know, may have found themselves to be like tieflings if they were exposed to, you know, infernal energies, or if they were exposed to like more celestial energies, then they're Azamar. So like those are like the races that like they're just humans, but they're just like humans have like a wide variance because of the way that um, they are.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, humans being able to like have like half elves and like sort of create like half breeds is concerning to some people among the races. Not as a whole. For some of them, not even a majority. Like humans are pretty tight with dwarves, and that's just sort of like the history. Like the humans' closest allies are probably the dwarves. Elves and gnomes get along really well. Dwarves don't really like the gnomes that much. Nobody likes the orcs except humans. Um, so
Accurate.
Uh,
um,
Lou, I was thinking either Orc or Goliath, and I think Goliath would just be human. And if Nate is saying that all that other stuff is also just human, that would open, if we wanted to be related, then that would open up a
Yeah.
whole different number of different things that you could do, and we could still be human.
Yeah. I was looking into that actually. Honestly.
But can you tell me a little bit about like orcs? Because I am curious about that.
yeah, so like the you know, the orcs are you know, have been around for a really long time. And um, you know, but they went to war with the elves and the gnomes. Um, and that was when, you know, then the dwarves were kind of also sort of new on the scene, and to sort of cinch their place in um, sort of cauldron society, the dwarves, you know, really took down the orcs. And so the orcs have less magic in their realm. They uh, so each of the realms, think like flat Earth, kind of thing. And at the edges, in each of the corners, is a thaumic relay that you can use to connect to another realm. Um, so there are, you know, for each of the four cardinal points. So there's like a northern relay, a southern relay, an eastern relay, and a western relay. So every realm is like that, right? So think of like flat Earth sort of thing. So maybe it's a continent. Usually it's like a continent-sized area with on, you know, each of the cardinal points. For the orcs, um, all of their relays except one um, were completely destroyed. So that would have essentially kept orcs from being able to like connect to the rest of the Thaumic Expanse, and they would have been just essentially cut off if they were all destroyed. But one dwarven general sort of had a um, crisis of conscience and chose not to go through with that destruction. So, and again, this is all just the sort of agreed upon history, so that, you know, that maybe um, so you know, because of that and the destruction of their land, like their what was once like one contiguous continent has now just sort of become like a lot of archipelagos. And over the you know, thousands and thousands of years since that Great War, um, you know, they have sort of become like much more of like a seafaring race. But mechanically, it's like orcs, half orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, tritons, Goliaths. Um,
Oh,
but
Goliath
I
is
think with I think Goliaths and half orcs, like you could play as like having a more human origin. So
I do like the orc.
if you wanted to.
I do like the orc loot. I must say, I especially the line where it says the destructive wave from this act destroyed the orcish war machines and sent their society back to the Stone Age. That's just kind of like the perfect setup for a barbarian orc.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean they've got like little I think of them like they're like an island race now, so they've got, like these islands that they, travel from. Some of the orcs do still use that southern relay to go into space, but like they don't have like official representation on like the council of races. I don't think, I mean, maybe I said that they do, but it's like they don't have a lot of influence. um but like the humans don't mind trading with them as long as they're not you know uh pirating from them. And the humans have actually struck a deal, so like a lot of the orcs that do pirate through the various astral corridors or whatever between realms um don't against human ships. So
You got me, Nate. You sold me. It'll be a little. It'll be interesting getting around as an orc, actually.
so yeah, and a lot of orcs, like they claim to be descendants from the giant civilization, which I think is called the Annam something or other, the Annam hierarchy. So they claim sort of descent from them, but the gnomes sort of deny that tradition. Um, and so they're kind of more tied into the giants, and then obviously like the Dragonborn are more tied into the Xenocrad syndicate, I think is what they're called. And that's sort of the ruins of the ancient draconic race. So yeah. One thing I thought about, like with the orcs, is like, a lot of them are sort of sailors, or have, some kind of background in like seafaring and navigation, things like that. And they usually have like tribal tattoos, which like are, sort of tell the story of like their life or of like their genealogy, things like that. So, and some of them, that's kind of how they do their magic. So like an orc, um, uh, wizard might like, kind of actually like inscribe, like, that might be sort of, how they do their spell book in some way, find a way to make that mechanically work.
Nate, how do you
Yeah.
want us to do abilities?
Oh, are we starting level 1?
We'll start at level 2, but we'll jump up pretty fast. So start at level 2.
I have another question.
For abilities, just do point by.
Point by. All right.
Yeah. I don't want to roll. I don't like rolling. It's too uneven. And
So one way of rolling is we all make our rolls, and then there's a draft. It's more complicated, but like.
well, if you have a suggestion, I'm that's not like completely swingy, that makes things crazy, then I'm down.
Well, so we all roll like you would normally roll for stats, and then we put them all into a pool. Like no one owns their rolls, and then one by one we do a draft. Like we pick a number. The first person picks a number, second person picks, and then down and down, and then after the fifth person picks a number, they pick another number. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, so each of you would roll 4d6 6 times.
Yeah.
And then you guys draft from there.
Yeah. It's just a suggestion. It could be fun. I don't know if the other guys are into it.
Sounds overly complicated.
I mean, that could be fun. I feel like, I wouldn't want anybody to like feel, kind of fucked over by that. But I'm like, that does sound like pretty fair. You know, I think it depends on your guys' collective luck then. But I don't know if everybody's on board with that. I would support that. If you guys wanted to try that. That sounds doable. That doesn't sound as swingy. I've always hated just rolling for stats because it never really you know, some people get really lucky and then some people have just like shit rolls and then you're just kind of stuck with it, you know.
Yeah. What do the rest of you guys think? Do you think it would be fun? We can just do point by. I'm down for either.
Could do whatever, dude. Literally, or whatever. So we're gonna start on level 2. So I put.
Yeah. So I don't know. Some of the other races, I guess I can go into. You know, the what else? The gnomes, very hierarchical, and they're all about like their research, but they have sort of a caste system. So it's based on the various metals, and you know, sort of the caste above the one that a gnome is in is sort of oversees the caste below it. And you know, they work kind of like an institute, like a institute of higher education. Think of them like a very research oriented. And so gnomes that sort of fall out of that are, you know, not really like outcasts, but they don't have much status. Like you know, they like there are gnomes that, you know, do like labor or do trade or, you know, don't really fit into that system. And you know, they are you know, some of them turn into adventurers, but also gnomes of all the castes can, you know, become an adventurer because, you know, they want to do field research. So but just think of like a whole race of like Sheldon Coopers. Something.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my god.
Damn.
You still want to stick to that one, buddy?
I do actually. I do. That could be fun because that's not even a 7. That's a 6.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it would be fun because the thing about the draft is that like one of us, if we were to do that, would end up with one stat being a 6, right? And that is, I kind of like that as much as I like a super high stat.
Yeah. I mean, look, if it creates like if it's like a pool of stats that you guys are drawing from, you know, then I think that's a cool way to do it.
Do you guys want to do it? Let's do a vote. I'm down for it.
6.
I'm against it. I think point buy is fine.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I mean, I support it, but I don't have a vote here. So, and you know, I'm like I said, I as a DM, I think point buy is fine. It can get a little boring because, you know, if you do like the 15, 15, 15, 8, 8, 8, to like min max, but you know, you know, so like I support the rolling because like that could be fun for role play. You guys making decisions, but I don't want anybody to feel screwed over. So
We could
because
do
that's the worst thing.
we could do the point, or we could do people who want to do point buy, and people who want to create a draft enter the draft.
I'd be fine with that if you know.
All right, I'm putting myself in the draft. If no one else wants to be in the draft, then we'll say fuck it.
So
I'm gonna combine the two. I'm gonna do a point buy system, but I'm gonna roll for it. What do I do?
so what's
How do you
your
do that?
yeah? So what's the? Can you explain that again, Chris?
So
I was
basically, we all roll 4d6 6 times.
okay.
Um, and you drop the lowest of
Here,
the one of the
Yeah.
d6s.
wait, I put it in general. So I'm gonna use the score array depending on my d6.
So, and then we take all of those numbers, and you don't own those numbers. We put them into a pool
Oh, I see.
that we all have, that we can all like take a draft from. So, for example, Lou, if you and I were to do it, then there would be 12 numbers in there, and I would select, or you would select first, and then the other person would select second, and then the other person would select third. First person would
Okay.
select fourth.
Okay.
So it's like
You
it
know
kind of-
what? That sounds on. I'm with it. I can do it with Chris.
Isaiah, the only thing about that score array thing is that those aren't legal under point buy rules. Some of them.
Oh, which one is it then?
You can't go up to you can't start with a stat that's 18.
Oh, what the fuck? This is
Under
the
point buy.
Unearthed Arcana Quick Characters Guide. That's why.
Dan, are you into the draft?
No.
I'll do the draft too.
No, you're right.
I'm a little worried though. You might get
Oh,
screwed
what
over.
the hell is this?
Nate,
Wait.
if we get
I
totally
love-
fucked over, can we go back to point buy?
Dude,
Yes.
Nate,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If everybody feels if more than half the people that do the draft feel fucked,
never
then
mind.
you go back to point buy.
That's horrible. Never mind. Past the 66. It's just.
I'll give you guys an
Yeah.
out, but then you can't like everybody's got to go back to point buy. Like you can't just
Okay.
have somebody be like, oh, I'm happy with my result. Like everybody's got to go back to point buy if you guys decide to back out.
All right.
So
So it's me, Lou, and Quentin.
Roll.
yeah, so Chris, roll your next 5, and then have Lou do his, and then Quinn do his. All right, that's pretty good.
Isn't there a dice spot you can just do here? So it's all listed. So we have to look up here.
Holy shit.
Let me write it down first before the next person goes.
Yeah.
Is down.
7, 17, solid 18.
What are you
Yeah,
dropping one?
you've got a
Which one
6,
are you
you've got a
dropping?
14, you've got an 8. You drop the lowest. You've got an 8, you've got a 16.
Can you say that again? 6?
6, 14, 8, 16, 12, 15. I put it all down.
Yeah. Okay, so Lou, you roll yours 46 six times.
How do you roll? Is it exclamation mark roll?
I just picked up one of the d6 and then right click 3 times. That's not bad.
That's a 12.
12. Yeah.
So 11. 12, 11.
That's a good
That's
one.
7. That's a 17. That's actually
That's
guys.
amazing.
We have some pretty good numbers here.
Do racial bonuses apply to this still?
Oh
or not?
my god!
What the?
That's a 17.
17.
That is another 17. 2 17s in a row.
These are
Well,
just your raw stats, Quinn. You'll add the racial bonuses after you assign them to your.
Yeah.
To your
And one more, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take what's that, 11? Damn.
Yeah.
2
So
11s.
so
Those are great. Shit, 2 7.
okay.
Okay. That's it. Those are mine.
Do I need to
So-
roll?
Yeah. So roll 4d6 and then do that 6 times.
Did it show up on everyone's screen?
No, so drop it over the chat, and when you pick up a dice, while you're holding the dice, right click. Okay, there you go. You
Oh,
got it.
he got it.
Okay.
What's
Uh,
that? Was
That's
that
an eight.
Nate?
Yeah.
6, 14.
4, 8, 11.
11.
16, 12.
11.
Pretty even right now, to be honest. Another 11.
Oh, okay, that's like 3 11s. Like,
Crazy. Okay. Not bad.
Wait, so how does this translate? Is there
So this is the normal like rolling for
That-
stats thing.
That's still
So-
really good. You have an 18 in there, which is
Yeah.
You
So
literally
those are
can't
good rolls.
get that with point buy. You can your
Yeah.
max stat with point buy is 15.
Yeah.
So how do
So-
you add these up? Sorry, I'm confused.
So you're not gonna add them up. So let's go.
So-
I'm making an Excel spreadsheet and I'm gonna put like 1 through 18, and then I'm gonna put the number of tokens of each we have,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
and then I'll share it so that we can all draft from there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, written down.
So let's to determine draft order, let's roll.
Okay.
wait.
The first D20 of the campaign.
Yeah.
I'm going in.
Roll a d20.
Isaiah's going in.
Oh, okay. Isaiah's going in. Okay.
Yeah.
Isaiah's
Fuck, I closed the
Isaiah
character wizard. I have to
going.
do everything again.
It's okay.
Oh,
You can
I-
manually
It's-
change the stats.
it saves the character wizard.
I
Shit.
reopened it. It's gone. No.
Oh, it is gone. Yeah, you guys. The only
All that
character I
work
see
for
is Dan's.
nothing.
haven't
Dan
even-
said he's got to drop off. That's a good roll. Shit.
14.
Oh, that's a great
Four-
roll. What the hell?
14.
You guys are gonna be.
14.
11.
That's a 11.
Man, if only I could keep these stats. But, oh, never mind.
That's a 8. I mean, 8. Guys,
Ah,
you guys are underestimating 8. Okay.
it's not bad.
What's that?
9.
Okay, let me put all these in. Hang on.
All right, yeah, and then once Chris is done with that, everybody roll a d20, and we'll go. We'll do draft order will be based on highest roll, highest to lowest. But don't worry, like when we get to the end of the draft order, we'll turn it back around. So it's like a normal draft. So if you're fourth, you're
a
if
snake
you have
or
yeah. So if you have fourth pick, you also have fifth pick.
yeah, snake draft.
Yeah, snake draft.
8.
Man, why you make me do fantasy draft in D&D, man? Fuck.
I
Listen,
don't know. This is
you-
fun. I like this actually.
you-
I thought I
you
escaped
said-
fantasy. It's
You
back.
said you wanted to come in here. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
it's
These
fantasy.
stats are pretty good. So
These
These are
really
pretty good
stats.
stats. We only have 1, 2. We only have 3 8s. Holy shit! One.
We do have a 6. We do have a
We
6.
do have a 6.
That's
have a
Which
six,
I'm
too.
probably gonna draft before I draft an 8. To be
That's
honest.
interesting.
I don't mind taking that 6, guys. I don't mind taking that 6.
I think Chris might beat you to it, but
Chris might first pick the 6, in
I
all
know.
honesty.
Was thinking of.
Bro, you're
Th-
gonna...
this is
You
actually
know me.
a decent spread of stats. Like everybody will
This-
have a
like,
few things they're
this
good
is-
at.
Like, that's like first picking Justin Fields, brother. Like,
What's the
what?
highest we rolled?
18.
That was. So we have an 18, 317. So I think we're good.
I tried sharing it. Let me know if you can access it. Whoever rolls highest is going to get an 18 for a stat.
I want it. I'm gunning for it.
What's this? Google.
Can you open it, or is it not working?
Who'd be me on? I need access, brother.
How do I?
I sent a request.
Access denied. What?
Oh, I have to change it. Okay, that should work. Is it working for you guys? If you click on it, the new link.
Yeah, I'm in.
What's
Alright.
what's that row B?
What's the second column?
That's the
View
number
only?
of those. So the first row is just the
Oh,
rolls.
numbers.
And
Okay,
then
Oh,
the
yeah,
second,
I get it.
I included one because it just made it easier for me to put it all down because it has the column, is 18. I was putting like 4 in column 1. It was weird. So
Gotcha.
So the second column is the number of those stat rolls that we
I
have.
get it. Yeah.
So we have 6 11s.
Well, that's like the average roll, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're dropping 1, then 3, 6, 9. I don't know if this is 3.5. 3.5. 3.5.
All right. Are we rolling for it?
It's actually 12.
Okay.
Aha! Fuck you! Oh, I'm last pick.
No, you're not. Holy sh!
Your last pick.
Hey, I
All
knew
right,
it. I
so
knew
it
it.
goes. It goes.
I'm not getting to 18.
Chris, Quentin, Lou,
Ice.
Isaiah, and then you're gonna be the
Yeah.
we'll do Snake
You
from
know?
there. So
Some people don't like being last. I want to be the last. I get to get 2 picks in a row.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's not bad. Everyone gets one roll that's above a 17 or above, and I get the one that's above because I get the 18, baby. 18.
What is
Oh
that?
shoot!
Who the fuck
I did
just
not-
that?
I did not mean to do that.
What's wrong with you?
That was awful.
I did not mean to dice roll it. I was trying to do manual entry and it dice
Oh.
rolled all my stats.
That's
Oh,
funny.
okay. Well,
Okay. Chris, can you put our names over the top on row 1, like starting?
Wait, can we just have a drafting?
Put it on the top on
So
the
it
first
was.
row.
Oh,
was it?
and then I'll. Okay, got it.
What are the
Yeah,
names
you know
again in
what?
order?
Yeah, Chris, Quentin, Lou. I'm third.
Oh,
So
Lou. Me?
Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way we can keep track.
okay.
Am I
Quentin
next?
is Quintin. Just not. It doesn't matter. But yeah. Quinn, you are next.
I'll take a 17. Then.
All right.
Wait, what did you pick, Chris?
I picked the 18.
The 18, you said?
Yeah, of course I picked the 18.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You should just like subtract it so it's not.
Yeah. Just subtract it so that it's like from column
So
B.
right now,
Oh,
that's
I
a
got you.
0. That's a 2.
Yeah.
I'm
All right,
still
Lou.
gonna-
Fuck. Give me that 6, baby.
You want the
You
6?
took the 6?
Hell yeah. Give me
Oh,
that
you
6.
sniped Chris's pick.
Oh my god.
You sniped
Dude,
his pick.
I
It's
don't
fine.
know.
I have. This is
No,
the
because
reason
that's going to
why.
mean that you're not going to have any high stats.
No, listen, I was thinking of a character.
I mean, he could
Don't
have a
worry, it works.
16. He could have a 16 on his next pick. He could
Yeah,
still take
that's
the
true.
16
Yeah.
on his next pick.
Yeah.
I'm taking 17.
All right, Isaiah takes 17. Isaiah, you go again.
17.
All right, Isaiah, you got two 17s. Back on
Okay.
Lou.
Okay.
Okay, that gives me 18 in like Constitution and Intelligence. I'm fine with whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the 6. I'll do that.
Okay, yeah, do that because you don't want to fuck yourself over totally, man.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay.
Unless you're role playing that.
I'll take
Quinn.
the 15. 15.
All right.
Okay.
No worry.
I will take 14.
Okay, Chris takes the 14.
Crystal.
I'll also take 14.
Okay.
Wait, Chris goes again, no?
Oh yeah, Chris goes twice. Yeah. Quinn, so
Wait.
you don't get the 14.
I thought Snake goes back. It only goes twice because of the. Okay.
So I go twice?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isn't
you
that how
do.
Snake works? Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta go twice.
Okay.
All right, so Quinn shouldn't have a 14 then.
I take the 13.
No. He should because there were 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then skip
Okay.
me and go to Lou now.
So Lou.
Okay. I'll take a 13. Yep.
All right. Isaiah.
So it's just 12s now? Yeah. Okay. 12.
And then pick again.
Yeah, I got it. Let me check. I think I got everything I wanted. Actually, no, I still need a decent wisdom. Sorry, boys, I have to take another 12.
Okay. I'll take an 11.
Actually, you know what? My bad. I'll take an 11. So, Lou, you can take 12 if you want. I'm fine.
sure?
I already got decent stats.
Okay, I'll take the 12 if he
There were
wants.
3 12s, so Lou could take a 12, and
Yeah,
Isaiah
that's
could
fine.
take 2 12s.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. If that's okay, then. If there's enough 12s for everyone, then I'm fine.
Yeah, there were 3.
I didn't want to hog it all after taking double 17.
Nah, I'll take the 11, I guess.
Okay.
Ah, my monitor went to night mode. I can't see anything now.
I will take 2 8s.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Quentin.
I will take a 9.
Ooh.
I will take I think there's only 11 left, isn't?
There's 5 11s and 1 8.
I'll take one of the 11. Yep. I'll 8 later.
It's
Isaiah.
me now?
Yeah.
Give me an 8!
Oh,
All right.
All right.
You gotta have one shit stat. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
fine. And I'll
That's
take a
why I
4.
take
And
the
I'll take an
3.
11.
I
All
knew
right.
nobody. I think we only have 11 left, right?
Yeah, so everybody gets an 11.
Okay.
Alright. 17,
11.
17, 12, 12, 8, 11.
All right.
Oh, fuck, I have to redo my fuck.
All right. Man, that was fun. I like that.
Yeah, that was Chris. That
How
was
do I
Actually-
manually enter
Oops.
these?
I think you could hit manual, no?
Can someone delete the random character I accidentally made?
Is it? Yeah, I can delete it.
Thank you. I clicked on a
Oh,
button
you can override. You can just override.
How do you override?
Yeah.
to do everything again. God damn it.
How did you get override, Clinton?
Now,
It's,
question: the orc that we have, it's not a half orc, right? It's a full orc.
No, I mean you can play a half orc if you want.
No, I know, but
I mean,
You know, you can be a quote orc and be a Triton or a Goliath or
oh, reminder, Nate. Are elves common?
are elves common?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the elves are there's kind of two types of elves. I mean they're like the subclasses or the sub races are what they are mechanically, but
Mhm.
you have like mortal elves, which are like, you know, have a lifespan of about 150 to 200 years old. So like they're slightly more long lived than humans, but they're not like that much more long lived. And then you have immortal elves, and immortal elves have figured out some secret to allow them to have really high longevity. And depending on, you know, it's sort of like a specialized um, you know, breathing technique that allows them to like tap into, you know, knowledge or enlightenment from their past lives. And you know,
Yeah.
they get it when they meditate. And so they kind of like develop longer longevity. So a lot of elves that are immortal elves are, they're not actually immortals, but they seek to, you know, a lot of them seek some path of immortality. So you know, they have various sort of if they find an elf that has like a talent for this pursuit of longevity, they recruit them into their like you know, sect, uh, kind of like religious sects, but not really like that religious. They're more like, you know, groups of like-minded people. Um, so some of those sects are sort of seen as being a little bit darker, more evil. Some of them are a little bit more like good. Some of them are neutral. Um, and yeah, so um, but any elf, you know, can if they can like, you know, get access to that like technique or whatever, and that's why like some half elves that are humans can sort of see through that, can sort of get pursue that path of longevity as well. You know, be able to like use that special breathing technique to gain a longer lifespan than normal. Um, Otherwise, normal elves, mortal elves, when they die, and elves that are on the path, like that are immortal elves, whenever they die, you know, they reincarnate, um, and um, but they're not like as much on the like it's like they don't reincarnate like in the way that like other D&D elves do, where they can like their past lives are like all connected,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like if an
Uh,
elf dies within the Thaumic Expanse, they still stay within the Thaumic Expanse. They're
yeah.
not going to reincarnate into like the Forgotten Realms or anything.
So how did you do the character wizard, guys? For the override, it's not giving me the +1. Just saying the override number.
I think it might update it once you complete it.
All right.
I don't know. I'm not done yet. I got to pick background and stuff.
wait, how do you override what
The
the
abilities.
abilities?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the
so
bottom
in the
row.
method, yeah, dice roll, manual entry, and then you go all the way to the bottom row. Type it.
Does it, if you do that, does it add the racial bonuses after, or do you have to do that in your head?
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Oh, I have no idea. I I just put what they would be in the end, and if it bumps it up, then I'll correct it afterwards.
Okay. I'll just do. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put what it is, and then if it's not buffing, then I'll let you know.
And for equipment, is there certain things we just? I'm so confused on the equipment.
For the equipment,
Yeah.
just select your starting kit.
Lou, by the way, I was thinking of going criminal.
Is
What's
there a
that?
starting kit to start with?
I'm sorry, please go on, Quentin. I'll text Lou.
No, I'm just confused by what the starting kit is.
Oh, those aren't there. You got to pick your background.
Okay.
Have you picked your background?
Yep.
So then, like, once you've picked your background, you should be able to see, like, when you click starting kit, it should just have your inventory there.
Yeah,
Once
it's
you pick
not
your class
buffing,
too.
even if you go in. Like,
I can
once
see.
you go in and
I
finish,
can
it's
see
not
it.
buffing. The main difference is I need a 1-1 in intelligence con. There we go. That's my person, Alchemia Pulvura.
You can't find it.
Yeah, I mean, Quinn, I don't know, like, when I click on, like, I'm on the character wizard, and, you know, I've, like, selected, like, a class and abilities and background. And if you look at the equipment, you click select starting kit, and then it should have your basic inventory, and then you'll have a background kit, and it'll kind of give you a choice of items, and then your class kit, it'll give you, like, choices of items.
Oh, I didn't do
Packs.
that part. Oopsies.
Oh, that's sorry, I picked the wrong thing. I picked select starting wealth. That's why, and it wasn't
Yeah.
showing that.
Yeah, so if you select starting equipment, then you should be able to pick.
I can just give myself the equipment, right? Because I kind
You
of forgot to
can-
do that part.
You can just manually give yourself equipment, just, you know.
Where would it be? Items. Here, there it is. It's because I just forgot to give myself some things that come with the class.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm finally done. I clicked it. Shoot, I forgot.
So after you pick your ability scores that you put it on in the override, you hit anything?
Like, I'll be honest,
Commit.
you don't have to do your ability scores in the character wizard. When you get your character sheet, you can go in and you can manually change them. So
You can, but I don't think it'll do the. I really, because I don't want to. Here's the thing. I don't want to keep track of the pluses and the minuses. I want it to just automate it for me. So,
what do you
'cause-
mean the pluses and the minuses?
It
Cause-
will. You can change it
It
later
will.
on.
Okay.
We've all done that. Yeah.
Yeah, once you choose your proficiencies,
Oh, that's not
I
what I
don't
was
know.
looking for. That's a Pathfinder class, not that one. This one's what I'm looking for.
There are Pathfinder classes in there.
No, not in the thing. I'm using 5e tools to see what I get for studying equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
So yeah, I mean, I should have like Fizzband's Guide to Get. I should have like a lot more stuff than I had in when we were in classic mode. I bought it. I kept buying shit, and then I'd be like, "Why isn't it there?" And then I talked to Fantasy Ground support, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't support like any of the content that was published after this
Yeah.
point in classic mode."
I remember you
So,
mentioned that Fantasy Grounds, the company, actually came into the chat of the Twitch stream,
uh,
and you were like, "Where the fuck's my shit, bro?"
I know, and they're like, "Oh, we'll look into this," but they didn't. Those bastards. But yeah, I'm gonna pre-order the 2024 stuff, and you know, at some point we'll switch over when that actually gets published. But in the meantime, if there's anything from the D&D, you know, playtest stuff, the 2024 stuff, weapon proficiencies, whatever that you want to use, you can use it. Just you know, bear with me because I don't. Those are new rules, so I'm not fully on board with them.
So
But
2 of these.
Chris, I think
ask
actually
you.
you're right. I think that's okay. Or
Oh, we can just
or
change that. Yeah, we don't have to follow the story strictly. Also, you don't have to be urgent if you don't want. You can be like criminal or do whatever, but it can still be like a part of our backstory if you want.
no, I was looking at some. I was looking at a smuggler, the worst smuggler in history.
Like light crossbow with 20 bolts.
so, what are people thinking about with their characters? Like, you know, why their character would be, or have we? If we haven't thought that far into it, that's fine. We can do that in session 1. So,
I'm thinking 2 different reasons why I'd be in jail.
okay,
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
picking the failed merchant background,
okay,
Ooh.
and I come from a minor dwarf clan,
okay,
and because of that, I am unable to receive enough favor to get into the position of receiving the ability to mate with a dwarven spouse. So, in order to do so, I decided to try to, make more wealth for my clan, but it failed. And because of that, I was unable to pay my debts and have been
okay.
thrown into jail.
So a debt collection. You're in jail for debt.
I was thinking of that, or as a druid, I ran into a noble who was kicking a puppy, and I got in a fight with them and got thrown in jail.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Kicking
Okay.
a pup.
Those are good reasons.
Oh my
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna start with this. You will not be starting in jail, but I will be setting up scenarios as our first introductions to each of your characters, as like the here's maybe how you get there, you know. So
Ooh. How about? Oh, I don't know. The, I just thought about something. Like he mentioned, like a merch, right? Like, what if we were all like working for one merchant that we don't know about? Like we don't know we're work. Like this guy contracted us all for, and we all fail at what we did, and then we all end up in jail, and we have no like we don't know each other. I don't know.
Good dude.
That was a
Yeah.
I'm thinking, for me, I'm thinking because I want to be in jail, and that kind of starts my whole character process. Kind of sort of how I want to play my character. So
Yeah.
I got caught for stealing something. Don't know what it is yet. Like I got away with it, but I did something stupid, and because of that, I got caught. So it was like you know, like stupid burglars, like how they go in, then like they leave the gun, like they walk in the store, like to rob the store, and then when they take the bag of goods, they leave the gun on the table.
Uh-huh.
Like the guy just takes the gun and shoots, like you know, like something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I got away with it. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards that.
Yeah,
Of
so you're like
cheating gone wrong.
you're like sticking up you're sticking up you know a local shop, and you know the guy's like, hey, your shoe's untied, and you're like, oh shoot, yeah, thanks man, here, hold this. Go down.
What? That was great. Yes, something like that. That was fantastic.
Yeah. Um,
Question. Question.
yeah.
Do you have any minor clans that you think I should be a part of?
Well, whatever like you know, so if like you're um you know, you're a druid, so you're kind of like nature focused. Let me think through it. I don't have any minor clans off the top of my head. I have, you know, the skeleton for most of the major clans thought out through and what they do, and sort of their sort of public role in society, and then you know, they all sort of have you know, potentially secret functions as well. Um but let me think about it, but you know, feel free to think about it yourself too. So if you want to contribute something there, you know, something that they do, again, like it's usually um you know, let's say like they're really good at like piloting airships, you know, then like there's a clan that's, you know, like a minor clan that's like, you know, maybe like the, you know, Redbeard clan that pilots airships, or you know, you know, they might
There we go. I got everything.
you know, so just think about that, like what if you're a merchant, like you know, maybe there's something that you specifically you know, are like a merchant.
Maybe
um,
they're a clan serving one of the larger clans.
yeah, well that's actually a thing too. So
All right, I got my story.
a lot of the minor clans are sort of feeder clans of, you know, talent or whatever into the larger clans. Isaiah, you got yours?
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
So, my background is a cloistered scholar, right? But
Okay.
he was getting so bored of it that he said, "What if I look up something more exciting?" So he found a book on gunpowder and explosions and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So let's just say he was doing some mild acts of, I don't know, could just be disturbing the peace, some arson.
Yeah.
He's not a pyromaniac. It's just accident.
Right. But it was like you were experimenting or
Yeah,
testing your knowledge.
Because I'm a
and,
cloistered scholar and I was getting bored because I was inside that place all day reading.
yeah.
So
Oh.
let's just say he wants the adrenaline of an explosion now.
Okay. I'm into it.
That's just the simple. I can make something more in depth. That's just the outline.
Yeah, so some kind of mishap with explosives could get you
Yeah.
in jail, probably. Is the most likely reason you might be in jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Accidental case of arson.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm into it.
And Lou, what was you gave whatever you were trying to steal to someone, or what was it?
Say that again.
I'm sorry. What was your situation? Why are you in jail?
So I got caught stealing something. Like I didn't get caught stealing. I stole it, but like I did something stupid. Like we're just gonna go like I was stealing it. The guy told me hey, my shoes untied, and I'm like, oh man, like very good, like
So
dude, I don't know,
you would find yourself in jail through crime, but
through crime.
potentially
Yeah,
failed crime.
I
Okay.
I
failed,
I went I
failed.
went I went looking for my brother, and I punched some woman in the face.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. If you just go to the precinct and you're like, hey, he's here. Like, let me talk to him. He gets one conversation with an outsider, and they're like, you're gonna have to wait. Then you punch the lady at reception in
Yeah,
the face.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Something like that. Okay. All right.
Or I
That's
just like, or even just like on the street, like I'm like, I don't know what his voice is gonna be like. I'm just like, they took my brother. Where did he go? And I'm just like shaking some woman that I found. I don't know who she is. And she's like, I don't know. And
yeah.
I'm like, tell me, God damn it! And I punch her in the face.
Who the fuck
And
even is your brother?
yeah, and I'm watching this like 2 blocks down while
Being
the
taken
cops
away
are
in
handcuffed,
shackles. Yeah.
and I'm
You
like
end up.
calling
You
Uber.
guys both end up in the same paddy wagon.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
I gotta find.
why did you punch that woman?
I'm not quite as dumb as you, but I do have very low wisdom.
Oh,
Amazing.
my friend, we we are gonna be good together.
We're gonna do some dumb shit. That's for sure.
Oh, we're gonna be good together.
I'm so excited for this. And Dan's playing like a smarter. Oh, Dan and Isaiah.
What's
and
what's our
Quinn.
last name? Lou.
Oh, I don't know. I was just throwing ideas. Was that okay for you?
Oh. Yeah. No. I'm asking what your last name is.
Swift Shadow. So get this. My initials are BS. That's what they call me in this.
All right.
That's what they call
So
me
how
in
about
this.
like we picked our own names, right? Because like we're urchins or whatever, and we just kind of picked our own names, and we don't know that we should probably have the same last name.
Or we can have like so part of our backstory, we can say we can have the same last, but we don't go by our because of our profession or our trade.
True. Nate? Do they have like for orphans or whatever in the Orcish area? Do they have that like Jon Snow thing where there's like a name that they give to bastards or orphans?
Oh, yeah. Why not? So it would probably be something like Sandbar. It's mostly like oceanic stuff, right? So they're mostly like like in the Annam hierarchy, so like the giants, ancient civilization, like most of their ruins are like underwater ruins in the orc realm, and there are very few that are actually above ground, and yeah, they're um, so yeah, just think of like, I don't know, island things. So yeah, probably not like snow or rivers or like anything like that, but
Bay, Cape.
right. Yeah. Gale, just like a sea storm,
Yeah.
Um,
Squall. I like squall.
Squall's a good one. Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Lou? Squall?
Squall?
Yeah, squall, as in like a sudden, unpredictable storm.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. Yeah. I could even use that as my.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because it's still the S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll still be us. Yeah.
And I'm going to be Beam Squall. So I'm also, well, no, I don't want to take your thing if you're BS.
No, that'll be that's we the BS brothers. Go.
That wasn't intentional, actually. I just liked the name Beam.
Baruch Squall. What's that? SWALL?
SQUALL.
Oh, S. Oh, Squall. Thought that's wall. So I'm thinking, I guess we have everything that our background starts with, right? No extra added.
Yeah, so you pick your background and
Whatever
you know
that.
what's what's interesting with the backgrounds, like, they're like preset backgrounds, but there's like a rule in the um player's handbook that talks about
Yeah,
creating a custom background. And it's
yeah. And they
like
give you a certain amount of gold, right?
right, they just tell you kind of what you pick as like for the like how to make a custom background, how to make like a background feature, things like that. Which is kind of cool, but I haven't given it much thought how you do that. But I mean, I think you could like just mix and match things. So like if you like the feature of the Outlander background, but like you like sort of the background part of like the Sage background or something, you could probably sort of swap things out if you wanted. But
My intelligence negative too.
yeah, so like I said, we're gonna start in the city of Folktha, and so that's FOLCTHA, and yeah, we'll go from there. So like I said, I guess the other thing is think about what role you would have on like a ship. It could be an airship, it could be a sailing ship, it could be a sailing ship that can maybe submerge into water. That depends a little bit on some of your choices. So, but that's sort of after the sort of prologue situation, and it comes time for you guys to yeah, you're level 2. So when it comes time for you guys to sort of start your actual adventure sailing, think about if, because like you guys will be just the crew, you're not going to have like a crew, it's just like you guys are a crew. So think about that. We can talk it through too if
Yeah, I have to level up.
you want somebody to be a navigator, you probably want somebody to be like a helmsman, um lookout, chef, um think about that. So because like I said, my favorite part of the Odyssey of the Dragon Lords was the sort of seafaring thing, and this is going to be like that, but it's not going to be like just on the sea, right? So um you'll be sort of going from place to place, and you might be sailing, but or flying in an airship or whatever, and um, you'll go from there. So and then yeah, it'll just be a matter of exploring the realms and picking where you want to go next. And I'm not gonna have a lot of like I'm really just like I have sort of a loose structure, but you know this is gonna be sort of whatever you guys are interested in, and then random shit that I throw at you, and then if it feels like it has meaning or stronger meaning or should have be something, um but a big part of this of my idea for this, and especially of like the main villains. Sort of like, well, not the main villains, but like, you know, one of the major antagonistic forces is because you guys let that queen go in the Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, that Myrmiki's queen.
Which the smart bug one?
Yeah,
Oh shit!
Wait, who?
You remember the bugs that we're learning really quickly?
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
they
they
had
were
a
like a
queen, and
swarm.
we didn't get around to killing her or something.
yeah. So the like the major antagonistic force. So there's like the civilized races of the Cauldron, you know, the elves and gnomes, the humans, etc. But the major antagonistic force isn't like, I mean, obviously you'll run into like some evil characters that, you know, you'll have to fight. But the major antagonistic force is like the Myrmiki's hive mind,
Oh
or the
god.
Myrmex, the Myrmex hive mind. So and they are essentially like a hive mind insectoid, humanoid
Hive.
insectoid race that have sort of like use all the like magical technologies of other races, innovations, things like that. So like um you know, when like humans introduced gunpowder, that was like a, you know, thing that they've tried to keep from the Myrmex, is what they're called. And but one of the things that what people can glean is that their culture seeks after, like, the in their minds the sweetest meat is thinking meat. So they only go after like sapient prey. They don't like to, like, you know, they're not like trying to find like, you know, cattle or sheep or anything like that. To them, like, thinking prey is like the most uh you know, delicious tasting food. So they're kind of a big threat, and they'll kind of be around. So um yeah, and then there's like a whole section of the expanse that is like unexplored, that um you know, is like in like uncharted space essentially. And um that's the Vale. And there are, you know, settlements out in the Vale that people, you know, like colonies, but it's pretty rugged, and like that's like the frontier. So anyways, hopefully that's enough information for everybody to start. And I'll do some prep this week and get things going, get some maps in, get some encounters prepped, and you know, we'll go from there. So Isaiah, what, you're playing an artificer?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to be an artificer. Dan said he's going to be an artificer, which I think is
Nice.
fine. I think that's actually kind of a fun.
Like,
And then
guys, we don't have healers. Again.
got a barbarian,
Oh my god, this is
got
crazy.
a druid. Quinn is a druid, and we've got a
Oh,
rogue.
that's true.
Is an off heal, yeah.
Yeah, rogue. It's gonna be fun to play a rogue.
Yeah.
I want to be Circle of the Moon, but I don't know if Circle of the Moon is on this in the modules.
It should be.
I can guarantee that it is.
Oh, he probably doesn't see it because it's at a level. So you probably
Yeah,
see it
you
there.
would take the subclass, I think, at like level 3, I think.
Yeah, let me check what druid you picked.
Quinn, is this your first
No, he
first
gets it
time?
at level 2, I think.
I get it. Yeah, I get it at level 2. But how do I level up my character?
You click on the class and level. Yeah, Artificer 2. I mean, you click that title under
Anything?
class and level, and then you click the level up button to the right on the
So
pop up.
yeah, right underneath class and level, there's a little magnifying glass. Hit that.
So Quinn, when you added Druid on your wizard, you added the one from the SRD, which only has Circle of the Land.
Oh, that's
But
fine.
there's like if under the character, I don't know if you have the character tab, but there's like classes.
Yes.
Let me just fix this for you. I'm gonna do the player's handbook, Druid.
Oh, that one didn't pop up on mine.
There you go. So you should be level 2 now.
Oh, you fixed it?
Yeah. Yep. All right. Yeah, and your guys' stats are not completely fucking insane, so I'm not worried about that. So yeah, good times, guys. I think that's it. I think unless you guys have any other questions, feel free to text me and send me a message in Discord or whatever. And I can elaborate. And like I said, really, like, nothing is sacred here. So if there's something that doesn't quite work, I may, I leave some things reserved to like modify or change. And if there's anything you want to add or you feel like could add some depth or you think would be interesting, let me know. Like, I'm open to ideas. And so we'll start next session will be Tales from Jail.
Cool.
Jails Bails, that's what we'll call it. If you want a title for next session. So, all right, guys. Talk to you
Awesome.
later.
See you guys next
See ya.
week.
All right. See ya.